So, I'm back from my holiday and we are now halfway through the year, so I thought, why don't I talk to you guys about the favourite book I have read this year so far, because we're halfway through the year. I have read 51 books this year.
Congratulations!
I know. You can hold your applause. It's fine. It's okay. I get it. It's awesome. I know. I don't know how I've read that many books, but I will talk to you guys about the one book I have enjoyed the most. I will give you some honourable mentions first. I'll give you 4 honourable mentions. And these are 4 books that I have read this year. Not necessarily books that have been published this year, because I don't read books that come out new, and that's probably why the numbers aren't great on my videos. So, let's talk to you about some of the books I've read. So, a big chunk of them are Murakami books, unfortunately, for this video, which I will link down below and link somewhere up here for you to check out. But, let's talk about some other ones. 1, Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Honourable mention because I really enjoyed the book. It was a major page turner for me, but I think I also mentioned in my review, I wasn't blown away by it, but I absolutely loved reading it. Another mention is Angels with Dirty Faces, A History of Argentinian Football. I think this year was the year I really got into football history, and this book was the one that really triggered that, so I highly recommend it, especially if you're interested in South American history and or football history. The next 2 are Palestinian Walks and Going Home by Raja Shahada. These 2 books are kind of linked together. They're about, obviously, his time in Palestine and the walks he used to take and what has changed in Palestine and what's preventing him from taking these walks he did growing up. I think I have videos on those as well, so you can go my full thoughts on both books from those 2 videos. And now I'm thinking, those are 4 honorable mentions. I'll throw one more in, Decolonial Marxism. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I have a video on it. I'll also link it somewhere. So those are the 5 honorable mentions. I think most of those have dedicated videos to them, but you know, you can find my thoughts on my Goodreads as well, where I now do very brief reviews of the books I read. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the book that I have enjoyed the most or found the most out of reading this year is Black Against Empire. This book is a book about the Black Panther Party from its inception to its eventual decline. It is such a useful and informative resource about the Black Panthers, which passes through much of the media bias that the Panthers historically have experienced and gone through to try and get to the root of what was the formation of the Panthers, what happened under the Panthers, much of the FBI and CIA attempts to destroy the Black Panthers, many of the Black Panthers, you know, policies, and then going on to the decline of the Panthers, both the role of individual Panther leaders as well as the role of the CIA, FBI, the United States government. Extremely interesting read. It was a suggestion from one of my followers, which was great. I love whenever I put out and ask for suggestions when people give them to me, because I do genuinely read them. It sometimes will take me a while to get around to them. However, I genuinely read your suggestions. So if you have suggestions for me, whenever I do a call out for them, both here and on my Instagram, please do give me suggestions, because I love reading what you guys suggest to me. But anyway, this book, especially if you are a leftist, is extremely useful, extremely important. It tells you about the Panthers, it tells you about many of the great things the Panthers did, which can help you in your organising, but it also tells you some of the maybe mistakes that the Panthers ran into, which will give you stuff to avoid, but also tells you things that exterior forces did to try and minimize the Panthers, and may help you identify those things if, you know, you notice something going awry when you're organizing. In terms of how the book is written, it's really a great read, easy to understand with great references. Yeah, nothing that's too complicated. It's not too like, it doesn't feel like anything that kind of teeters on the edge of conspiracy. Every point that is made in the book is backed up with either, you know, first-hand evidence, or is an analysis of actual reports that have come out, or you know, things that have come out from people who were involved in what happened with and to the Panthers. So again, it's not one of those books where you feel like it is 100% biased to the US government or 100% biased towards the Panthers. It genuinely takes stuff that actually happened, or at the very least we have first-hand evidence and or first-hand statements from people talking about things that happened to and by the Panthers. So it's really, really interesting. And if you're someone like me who, I don't know why, but as a kid, I was enamored by the Black Panthers. I knew about the Black Panthers as a kid, and I don't know why I'm some like Asian brown kid in the UK, but I always knew about the Black Panthers. And I've had some resources about the Black Panthers. I have this great graphic novel about the history of the Panthers as well, which I do recommend. But this book entirely was like, okay, yeah, I get the Panthers now, or at least as much as one can get the Panthers by reading a book. Clearly, I wasn't around during the time. I'm not part of the community the Panthers are a part of, so I can't be like, I know the Black Panthers. But this book is a good step to knowing the Black Panthers. So yeah, highly, highly recommend it. If you are interested in modern American history, if you're interested in leftist politics, if you, for some reason like me as a child, knew about the Black Panthers and were enamored by them, do check out this book. That is my recommendation for you. Yeah, if you know any other books that are in this vein, or you know, if you have any other suggestions just about leftist politics, mostly around the world, that's kind of the next thing I want to learn more about. I know a lot about British leftist politics and American leftist politics. I don't know too much about it in, you know, even Southeast Asia, South Asia, Africa, that just come back from the Caribbean, so I'd love to read more about stuff from there. Obviously decolonial Marxism, which I mentioned in the opening section of this, does kind of address some of that. But yeah, please, suggestions, give them to me in the comment section down below. Do you know what else you can find down below? But this time in the description, links to all the books I've mentioned from bookshop.org. What is bookshop.org? Bookshop.org is a company that works with local bookshops and gives them a little bit of kickback, a little bit of funding from whenever people buy their books from bookshop.org. So I highly recommend you go and check that out as well, because you'll be helping out local bookshops. But I know people are going through a cost of living crisis. I'm broke at the moment as well, so I'm trying not to buy new books myself. So if you can't buy the books, do you know where you can get them? Your local library. Go check out your local library. Get a library card. It helps support the library, and the library is a fantastic thing that everyone should be supporting because it's great. Go and get the books from your local library, and if you get your library card because I told you to, send me a picture of it on Instagram and I'll share it. Tag me in the picture. Yeah, that's what you should do. Go and get your library card. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share the video with a friend or family member, and as always, I hope you read a great book today.